What's going on, guys? Welcome to the NBA Finals special of the I5 Sports Ride. And today we got a special guest. Yusuf, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, what's up, guys? Youssef, right for Sideline Witness. If you guys want to go check that out too,
Absolutely, you guys should
appreciate
definitely
it.
go check that out. They got good stuff going on there. Talk a lot of fantasy and stuff and basketball, so definitely go give Sideline Witness a check out. So, boys, I was originally planning to do this before Game 1 actually happened, but I didn't realize they were starting so quickly. So, Game 1 last night, I think we just go over, just talk about our reactions to it first.
Uh, well, I would say that my reaction would be that I was totally correct with the fact that this is LeBron's world and we're all just living in it. Um, it, and it's not even necessarily that it's just like LeBron putting on a show, but I'm gonna give him full credit for Anthony Davis joining the Lakers, and so that's basically his world still. And the dude went, what is it? Anthony Davis had 34 points, like first finals appearance, and he gets 34 points, like. It's a pretty good little show that he puts on right there for him.
Yeah, and lots of people are saying that it's like AD's team now, but I think it's clear that it's still LeBron's team, and LeBron runs that show because I think without LeBron, they wouldn't be close to where they are right now.
For sure. LeBron.
Yeah, I just think Duncan Robinson can't drop a goose egg again
No.
if they want to stand a chance in this
Yeah.
series. That's for sure. And I was also talking about how the only way the Miami Heat can stand a chance in this series is if they get the Lakers big men in foul trouble,
Yeah.
and that just didn't happen. No one had more than 3 fouls on the Lakers.
Yeah, and I was just talking with Mitch about this. If the Heat, if they're not shooting from 3 point land right now, because I think they shot 31% last night. If they keep doing that, it's gonna be a sweep, no question. Because
Yeah,
physically, the Lakers just are so much like more there than the Heat are, and they can just like dump it to 80, like, and LeBron can just take it to the hoop every time. So if they're not shooting well, then it's gonna be a quick series for sure.
yeah. Robinson and Hero combined 2 for 11 from deep.
Yeah,
That
not
can't
good.
happen
That
again.
can't happen. No,
Yeah, that's rough. And
not
I
good.
think I'm looking at Robinson. He only took 3 shots in general. He missed all 3 of them. But like, it's just like we always talked about, kind of like a Ray Allen, Reggie Miller kind of thing. Like when a shooter's out there and he misses a shot, he doesn't just go, ah man, like I'm off that day. Like you got to shoot yourself out of it. When you're a natural born
Just keep
shooter,
shooting. Yeah,
shooters got to shoot,
especially when
man.
you're Duncan Robinson. The only thing you do is shoot. You should probably keep shooting.
Oh, exactly. And it's so key and vital. Just like you make the point, the physicality of the Lakers is
Mm-hmm.
far and beyond anybody in the NBA right now, especially Miami. If Bam really is dinged up with that shoulder too, they're really gonna have to rely on their shooting because he's the only guy that could bang a little bit down there with AD. And the fact that it's not just AD for him, like they've got JaVale McCheese down there, Dwight Howard, all that kind of stuff. LeBron is just a physical specimen too. They've got to be able to. They're not going to be able to beat him in that aspect of the game. So it's got to come somewhere else. And in their shooting is really what's carried them so far.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any updates on Dragic or
Yeah, Dragic's
Adebayo?
out.
Dragic's out for the rest of the series.
He tore something. I can't remember
Yeah,
what
he
it was
tore something. It
exactly.
was like his
It's plantar fascia.
plant or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, so weird. And then
Oh,
Adebayo.
I just got an update that he has a neck strain. Bam has a neck strain and he's doubtful for game 2.
Geez, yeah. So um, I think it's gonna be a quick series if neither of those two are back. It's they're those two are way too big
Oh,
of part um, in that
Dragic
team.
is
Yeah.
doubtful, so he could return later.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be
That's
nice.
what I thought I saw. So um,
Yeah,
if they can get there's the only problem is they're gonna be so banged up anyway that I don't know if they're gonna be able to play to their full capability. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, that's tough.
and
Go ahead.
the Lakers also shot 92% from the free throw line, which is incredible, especially considering that the Miami Heat led the playoffs in 3-point shooting. I believe I had it listed over here. Yeah, they shot 82 in the playoffs from for free throw,
yeah,
and that's what really carried them here. And then
yeah.
the Lakers just went out and shot 92, and they shot 78.
That's huge.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of free points that they're missing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
which
huge.
which is crazy on both sides because, like you said, you can't miss that many free points. Like when you're on the line, you got to be able, and when you've statistically led the playoffs in free throw shooting, and you're a shooting team in general, like a lot of times you see people if they can shoot the three, most of the time they can also shoot their free throws. And
Yes.
it's also on the flip side of it. The Lakers really haven't been historically good this season at shooting free throws. I mean, when you've got somebody, LeBron's pretty good, but he's not amazing at shooting free throws. AD's got a solid line, but it's not amazing. And then you look at all the rest of the players, and they just kind of really like when you've got McGill, when you got JaVale McGee's, and you've got Dwight Howard both stepping up to the line multiple times in a game. Like obviously your numbers
Well,
are going to be
JaVale
down.
McGee's not even getting minutes anymore.
Is he not playing at all?
No, he didn't get any playing time last night.
Wow, look
Yeah.
at that. Good. I hate that
Dwight
guy.
Howard hit both his free throws too.
Rare.
Wow.
Yeah. See, so I think I don't think this really shows the talent difference between the two because I think that Lakers were just on last night
Yeah.
and the Heat losing Dragic in the second quarter I think and Bam in the I think late second or third I can't remember but it was somewhere in that big run where the Lakers from the midway point of the first quarter to the end of the third the Lakers outscored the Heat by 40.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I don't think that's going to be like the point of the whole series. I think the talent is definitely closer, and I think we're going to see that in game 2 too.
Well, the scary thing about the Lakers is that they're always at their worst in game 1 because that's
Yeah.
the game where LeBron tries to learn as much as he can and try and exploit the other team's weakness. Like the Lakers were 1-2 in game 1 up to this point.
Yeah.
They usually lose game 1. He figures out what he needs to do, comes back
Yeah.
because you have LeBron, you have Rondo, then you have the actual coaching staff. So you have so many smart players on that team. They're just going to know exactly
That's
what to do
scary.
to exploit the other team.
I think
So they're only going to get better.
Yeah, Spoelstra's a really, really good coach too, though, and all 3 finals that the Heat have won, they've been down 1-0 in the series. So that's also something to think about because I think coaching plays a big part in this too. I think he's going to rally his guys, and they'll have a better showing in game 2 for sure.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think they'll have a better showing. I think the biggest problem for them is though, like you pointed out, LeBron knows how to exploit the weaknesses of other teams, and for sure with Bam most likely out for game 2, that weakness is going to be AD. There's not going to be a single person that's going to be able to guard him, to defend him, even slow him down really. So I would not be surprised to see AD go for at least 40 next game and quite a few shot at least attempts for him because LeBron's just going to give him the ball and tell him to shoot.
Was it Solomon Hill that they put on AD when he left, or was it Olynyk? I mean, regardless of which one they chose, it didn't work.
Solomon Hill only got 5 minutes, so I think it was probably.
He got 18
No,
minutes.
he got 18 minutes. I'm looking at the wrong box score. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 18 minutes. Yeah.
I think Hill got quite a bit of that.
But it's just gonna come down to shooting, guys. Like if the Heat if they're not making those shots, there's no chance. Like, because the Lakers they really don't have an answer for AD or LeBron. So if they start knocking down threes, that'll keep them in games. If not, it's gonna be quick.
You can't let the Lakers outshoot you at 3 and free throws
Yeah, that's
if you
rough.
want to stand a chance.
No, because that's not even their strength. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I think the best bet for the Heat is to make sure, like we've talked about, make sure you take those 3-point shots. Like Duncan Robinson, if you miss 3 of them, that doesn't mean go silent for the rest of the night. Like you got to take them all and stuff. And they've got to figure out a way to take those long shots and those long threes to try and get some long rebounds coming off of it, and use their speed against the Lakers to try and go and grab some of those. Well, preferably not have to grab them because you make the 3, obviously. But you're looking at the stats here, and they got out rebounded 62-40 last night. 62-40. The Lakers had 45 defensive rebounds, like solely defensive rebounds. You're just not gonna be able to compete with that when they're pulling down, and they had 9 offensive rebounds, which never helps because they get second chances. But that's basically looking at it that when you miss a shot and you're not crashing or you're not getting those long bounces to be able to help you out on stuff, you're really not going to out rebound this team. So you have to make your shots. You have to take long ones and make sure that it doesn't just be like a lay-in that you miss or a short jumper that you miss and it stays right there next to the rim, because there's not a chance that Dwight Howard or AD aren't going to pull that down, especially with Bam out now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and now looking at the bigger picture of things, how important do you guys think this series is for LeBron's legacy, like moving forward?
I think if he loses, it's huge because I think LeBron is expected to win this series. I think Laker fans are expecting a title, not hoping. I think they're expecting it. I think him and AD need to perform. I think if they lose, count him out of the MJ LeBron debate.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hot take, baby. I like
If you lose to the Miami Heat right here, with banged up Dragic, banged up Adebayo,
Yeah.
and you lose, and you have Anthony Davis, you're not the greatest player of all time.
No, and let's not forget they're a 5 seed. They're not supposed to be here either. And the Lakers
That's
are.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
I understand it's the bubble and there's like special circumstances, but the Lakers have looked great throughout the series.
Yeah.
I mean the playoffs. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. They were talking about how I saw some takes that this cements if he wins or when he wins, this cements him in that discussion. But I'm totally with you on actually it really doesn't do a whole lot because especially now with those injuries, what you're going to get is the same discussion that we've gotten almost every other time. Everybody got injured. Oh, he had to face Miami. It wasn't even that tough of us. Doc Rivers was on his way out and with the Clippers anyways, so it wouldn't have made a difference. And I mean, you're gonna get the same discussion. It was the bubble, so everybody didn't play to their best ability. So I'm right there with you. If he doesn't win, it's like detrimental to his legacy.
Yes.
It's just too easy for him right now. Like if they implode and something happens, that's big time. Just absolute negatives all across his legacy. Like it's being handed to him basically.
I agree.
And
I also do think
it got handed to him in the Blazers series, by the way. Officials.
I don't think that's the case, but
it was. It
they won in 5.
It was all officials.
They won in 5.
The Blazers won game 1, and then the NBA wanted them. That's all it was.
I bet. Yeah.
I can get with that.
Thank you.
All right, Yusuf, what were you
I think
saying?
as of right now, though, this is another hot take, but right now LeBron is better than Michael Jordan.
Really?
Right now. If anyone has anything to say against that.
Are we talking like at his age and at LeBron or at MJ's age, like at their point?
No, that's not even a debate. That's LeBron. I'm talking career. He's a greater player.
All right, I guess I didn't know we were going to get into this debate, but I guess we will now. Here's the thing. People always say how much like the game has changed and stuff. I don't think you can take that into account. You need to look at how well they were in that era, and judge them based on like the era they played in. I think Michael is the better basketball player. I think LeBron is the better athlete. If that makes sense, because LeBron is just this physical just specimen of just like of greatness. And Michael, skill-wise, I think has the edge over LeBron. And I didn't even get to like really like watch Michael, like obviously because I wasn't alive yet.
Yeah.
But watching his highlights compared to LeBron's, like obviously LeBron is up there. Like for now, like there's no argument for arguing who's 1 or 2. It's for me it's clearly Michael LeBron. I think those two are interchangeable. I can see either point of putting either one at number 1. But my only point in it is that MJ better basketball player, LeBron better athlete.
I think the thing is like because people can't appreciate greatness while it's happening. When Michael Jordan was dominating the NBA, no one considered him the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
I promise you. Until he retired and you look back at his career and then you can say, wow, he was great. I think that's exactly what's going to happen with LeBron. He's great right now and no one can appreciate it. But the second he retires and you look back at his career and everything he's done, you're going to realize how great he actually was.
And I think the more and more that I watch this dude play is the more that I realize that I really don't think, like I used to be right there with you, Brooks, that LeBron's just a physical athlete and he's really just taking this physical advantage of the game and being able to dominate people that way and is dominating in that shape and form. And that MJ really was this better basketball player, IQ, skills, all that kind of stuff. But the more and more I watch LeBron, this dude is skilled out the Yahoo. Like his shooting is unreal. He hits shots that is just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, why would you even take that shot? But he still hits it. But I think that the biggest thing with him is that it doesn't look as skilled because he's so physically gifted and so built.
Just dominant. Yeah.
You're not getting the, like, Jamal Murray goes up to the hoop, goes up on one side and comes up and under, goes under LeBron, and it looks so skilled because he's just so nimble when he moves and all that stuff. But LeBron goes up and just powers straight through you. Or he does it and it looks so strong when he does it, and it doesn't look as quote unquote skillful.
Yeah.
It looks just more like an athleticism thing. But I really think, like, you put LeBron and MJ side to side and do any kind of skill comparison and test on stuff, I really think LeBron is just as, if not more skilled
No.
than MJ.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not like he's like way below MJ. Like I think obviously he's still like so skilled in the game, and it's not just his physical ability. I think the perfect example of just physical ability is kind of Giannis right now.
Oh, for
Giannis is
sure.
literally just his height, his wingspan. He's a guy who is all just take it to the hole. And does he really do
Yeah.
that much? No, he can't really shoot. He's not like that gifted with his handling. So that's the
If
perfect.
Giannis was 6'3", he wouldn't be in the league.
Exactly. So
That's
that's
basically what
that's
you're
the perfect example of someone just being physical, not obviously he's skilled. Like you can't you have to be somewhat skilled to play in the NBA. But yeah,
I don't know. I'm all
And
about
also,
the go for it.
when you look at the career numbers, I mean, LeBron has 27 points, and obviously MJ's a better scorer. He put up 30.1, which is the highest average. But then you look at the rebounds and assists, and LeBron has 1 more rebound, 2 more assists, field goal. LeBron shoots better in his career. When you look at win shares, it's the estimate number of wins contributed by a player. Michael Jordan has 214. LeBron has 236.
I just
So, I
think,
mean, when you look at numbers, the only thing Michael Jordan has above him is 3 points per
Yeah.
game.
yeah, and I think that
Everything else.
LeBron really prides himself in making his team better. Not that I'm saying MJ, although we did watch a documentary and MJ was kind of a douche to his teammates. So like
Yeah.
maybe not, but MJ definitely made his team better, obviously. But like LeBron prides himself in it. Like if he goes and grabs an assist, you can see him get more hype with his teammates when he gets like an amazing pass or an assist and they score really than when he scores. Like it's kind of all business when he scores. And so I'm totally with the whole context of him as a full player. Like I think that MJ locks down better on defense, but LeBron makes plays on defense that MJ wouldn't. They're definitely two completely different players, and it's really fun to compare the two. But I still think I'm with you with the fact that I really do like to look at the eras. Like even though that they played in two different eras, I like to kind of look at it and say like if you brought MJ out of his era and put it into LeBron's era, he competes and he shines. He's a good player and all that kind of stuff. But he doesn't do what LeBron does. You put LeBron in any era, and the dude just takes it to anybody.
I think okay.
All I'm saying is Michael Jordan never had to play against someone like Giannis or James Harden or Steph Curry.
I mean,
Like all these different players. Any of them. He's never seen Michael Jordan never saw anything like that.
yeah, you could say that, but the '90s were that was a good era for basketball too.
Well, yeah.
And
for
I
sure.
think so. Here's the thing: you put Michael in this era now, he develops a 3-point shot like no question, because the 3-pointer is so much more relevant this era than it was in the '90s. So I think we would have seen Michael just have way more big scoring nights than he did. Obviously, he had a bunch like when he played, but you put Michael in this era, he develops such a better 3-point shot, and it's something he necessarily didn't need to do back then as well. So I think he would be even better of a scorer if he played in this era.
That's fair. I mean, he did shoot 32% from 3. So to say that one of the greatest players of all time could bump that up like 5%, isn't it crazy?
Not all.
Yeah. I
Mitch,
don't know. I
you're
just look
shaking
at
your
it.
head.
Well, I just look at it like MJ would have to completely reinvent himself almost. Like not completely, obviously.
Well, he wouldn't
really
reinvent
good
himself.
and all that
If
stuff.
he was playing this era, like he would play like he would go with the times. Like he wouldn't have to reinvent himself. He would
Right,
play
which-
differently, but than he
Which
did.
I get, but he would have to be different. We'll agree to say that you're saying he would have to be a little bit different to be able to compete in this one. You could change absolutely nothing about LeBron James and put him in that era, and he would still dominate. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's a
Like,
question then.
Maybe, yeah, but also defense isn't.
No, maybe. No, maybe.
Brooks.
Defense is not as good nowadays than it was like back then, because
No,
everyone's
maybe.
everyone's a
Brooks,
bunch of wusses now.
Game 7,
No, maybe.
Game 7 NBA Finals. Who are you taking to lead your team, LeBron or MJ?
MJ.
Dame Lillard.
That wasn't the option.
Oh, it wasn't. I thought we were talking about goats.
No, we're talking 2 and 3 right now. Dame's number 1.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. See, love it. I'm still with the LeBron. Like,
Me too, I'm taking LeBron.
if I want somebody to lead my team, I'm
I
definitely
want
taking
someone
LeBron.
who's undefeated in NBA Finals and wins the big games.
Dude, but LeBron's never lost in the first round. Do you understand that? No matter what roster you give LeBron, he's making a run. MJ couldn't do that.
LeBron didn't
Would you
even make the
rather
playoffs
lose?
last year.
Okay. But did you see the roster last year? No.
You said you literally said any roster you give him, he's making a run, and now you just said
Nearly.
did you see the
I'll take
roster
that
last
back.
year?
Nearly any roster. Nearly any roster. Would you rather lose in the first round or lose in the finals? If you're making a run with your team.
Speaking
Losing
from
finals, obviously.
speaking from the Mariners
There you go.
side of me, I would just like to get to the playoffs.
True. That's all that
True.
matters.
But no, I totally and I agree with that point 100% that like the dude loses in the finals and everybody goes and absolutely smears his record there and look at how many finals he's lost.
Hey, it
MJ's never lost
doesn't
any.
matter how far you make it unless you win the championship. So
Oh, it does. It most definitely does.
It does.
Yeah. 100%.
Jordan lost in the first round, and LeBron's never done that. That's the biggest key.
He would have done it. He would have done it this year if the refs weren't on his side, but it's another,
There you
another
go.
point. But I don't know. I think that they're right there. I think in my book I still have LeBron's not quite there. I think he needs to cement
Okay,
it.
so what more does he need?
I personally think that I want to see him. Honestly, I would love to see AD leave and him do it again.
Wow.
Like, because I think that the biggest debate that's going to come up every single time, because people don't give Scottie Pippen enough love. Like, they say that he was the sidekick and all that stuff and blah, 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 but Scottie balled out all the time and was really good for them. But whenever you talk about LeBron and everybody talks about his legacy, they always talk about who carried him, who carried LeBron. Like, they always talk about,
Yeah.
well, without Kyrie and without Kevin Love in Cleveland, he never does that. Without AD in LA, he's not going to do that. Without going and teaming up with D Wade and Chris Bosh, he never does that. Like, I just want to see if LeBron and it might not happen and it might still not make my decision go MJ, but I would love to see AD leave, LeBron say, everybody hop on my back again and let's do this.
okay, we got some activity in the chat. Zach said MJ was bounced in the first round twice without Scotty, and that the series against the Warriors cemented him as the GOAT.
Wait, the
I don't-
series.
I think
he
that
came
the
back
finals,
3-1?
yeah, when he came back 3-1.
Are we talking about LeBron?
I think.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
I think it definitely. Like,
that was all Kyrie, right?
No.
I love
I
Kyrie.
think.
The world's flat.
I think no one was really having a serious talk about LeBron and MJ until he came back from 3-1. If you said it before, then I feel like you kind of get like laughed at.
Didn't he lose two?
But now it's a
Didn't he
serious
lose
debate.
2 finals in a row right after that? Kyrie, you guys are saying you would like to see AD leave and LeBron do it. Like, he had the chance to do that when Kyrie left, and he didn't do it. He's
Yeah,
had a
no,
chance.
I'm totally with
so
you
that's
on
why
that
that's why
one.
you're saying you want to see him like do it.
You just-
Like, yeah,
You just can't do it with like an absolute garbage roster. But the bummer part is that I don't know if it's going to be possible for him. Like, nowadays we have so many teams. I mean, you even look at like the Nets weren't even. I mean, they were in the discussion. They made the playoffs. Congratulations, good for them. But like, they were a second thought the whole time. Next year, they're going to be a real threat because they're going to have both Kyrie and KD back and all that stuff. You've
And
got
the Warriors are coming back.
Yep, the Warriors are coming back. They're gonna have a great draft pick. Clay is gonna be healthy. Steph's gonna be. It's gonna be tough, and it's supposedly Giannis is going there. Not gonna happen, but
No.
I just hope it doesn't happen. But you've got so many teams that are so powerful in the league now that have these quote unquote super teams that I just don't think LeBron's gonna be able to do it by himself. So it's gonna, in a lot of people's eyes, hurt his legacy because in their eyes, Michael did it all himself his whole career.
Yeah.
yeah. Here, I'll give
And also,
I'll give LeBron some love real quick because I feel like I've been hating on him too much. He should have won MVP this year.
Yeah.
that's fair.
I don't. Yeah, he's. I'm sick of the MVP award giving it to like the best player. It's called the most valuable player. Give it to
It's such a
the
narrative-driven award now
yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah. So give it to the player who's the most valuable to the team. And that was clearly LeBron with the Lakers. I'm just yeah.
Also,
Well,
the East is gonna get tougher too, because I'm calling it now. Chris Paul's getting traded to the Bucks.
You think so?
I saw the rumor. I
To
saw
the
the rumor on
Bucks?
Bleacher Report, and I'm fully into it.
Ooh,
I'm good.
that
I'm
could
good
be
with
very
that.
interesting.
Any move that makes the Thunder worse, I'm all for it.
See, and I'm the complete opposite. I like to see the Thunder thrive because it's not the Thunder's fault that they moved. Well, the players and the coaches.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
a
care.
big fan of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
I
so
don't care.
I like
You
him.
know who's still there? Clay Bennett. So as long as he suffers, then that's all that matters.
I just view it as another team to root for.
The Thunder.
Oh, oh, yeah.
You
I
root,
like them.
root for the Thunder.
I like them.
I don't even know why I'm doing this podcast anymore now.
You like that. You like that.
No one likes that. No one
Yes.
likes that.
Yes, we
How
do.
could you ever root for the Thunder? Jesus.
I send them bags of Starbucks coffee every month too, just to remind them of the beauties of Seattle, and they send me back, "Thanks, man." So I
guarantee you, once they're awful, they're like no fans are gonna show up to their games, and like they might be looking. And the arena's up for renewal too, and they haven't yet. So bring them
I was seeing-
back.
I was seeing somewhere where the possibility of the next team to relocate was Memphis.
That'd be nice.
Could you
Have John
imagine
Morant in Seattle.
Ja Morant in Seattle?
That makes sense too, because they got they originated from the Northwest anyway. So
Yeah, weren't they Vancouver?
Vancouver.
yeah,
Yep.
they were the Vancouver Grizzlies. Yeah, so come home.
Yes. Come home, Ja. I love
Yeah.
it. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we can start wrapping this up. I want just like final predictions. Kind of like talk about what your predictions were before Game 1 and what they are now, because I think they can change.
Okay. So I already posted an article on my website for the previews, and I had the Lakers winning in 5, and I assumed that the Heat would win Game 1 because the Lakers tend to take a back seat in Game 1. I'm gonna stick to 5. I'll give the Heat 1 game, and I think the Finals MVP will be LeBron.
Yeah.
That was my official prediction in my article, so I have to stick with it.
I like it.
I like it.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop with. I'm gonna go Lakers in 6. I'm gonna give Bam and maybe Dragic another game, and then I think at least one of them are coming back in Game 3. They're gonna give a little bit of a spark plug. Jimmy's gonna go off for like 2 games in a row, maybe tie the series up, maybe go down 3-1 and then get it to 3-2. But I'm gonna give the Heat 2 and see if they can really get their kind of energy going and all that kind of stuff. Maybe LeBron gets a little tired. I don't know what happens. They give the ball to Kuzma way too much, and he shoots bricks around the whole yard. But I'm gonna think that Miami's gonna go, and I am giving the MVP to AD.
Okay.
Wow.
So before yesterday, I had the Heat winning in 7.
Okay.
Now
That's bold.
it's really tough for me to stick with it because
Stick with it.
of losing Bam and Gordon.
Do it.
So I think it's going to be Lakers in 6 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'll stick. Okay, I'll stick with my like original prediction. Like that was my pick. That was
Yeah.
my pick. But looking at it now and the situation now, I think the Lakers are going to take care of business and finish it. But the Heat were fully healthy. If they somehow do they're doubtful, so there's still like a slight chance they both play. I think they can still do it in 7. I think they're a great team still.
If they land free throws, get the
Yep.
Lakers in foul trouble, and start hitting their
Hit
threes, they can,
And the Lakers are not going to shoot
Yes.
that well the rest of the series. I'll tell you that right
No,
now.
they
They're
won't.
not. They're not. So if they can balance it out with their shooting improving and the Lakers decline to what it should be, I think it's going to be a really competitive series the rest of the way.
Yeah, and I think what you said is actually going to be really key to them is getting them in foul trouble.
Yep.
Which you don't have. I mean, you do have a good veteran presence over there, but you don't have the veteran savvy minds of like a Chris Paul, like you were talking about. Really, really savvy veteran mind that helped out that young team like crazy and made a run for him. But hopefully some of those younger kids can realize that and say, hey, if we go take it to them and get them in really early foul trouble, we can make a good run and kind of keep them down and all that stuff. So that's gonna be really key for them.
All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up for
All right,
today. Yusuf,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for joining us. Yeah,
Always a
make sure you
pleasure.
guys go check
Yep.
out Sideline Witness, their
Yes,
website.
thank
They're
you.
on Twitter. Anything else you guys are on?
Much appreciated. Instagram soon.
Instagram. Okay.
Keep an eye out.
There we go. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
and then-
IG
Mostly
life.
fantasy. Mostly fantasy, but we do talk about other things as well. We do MLB, NBA, and NFL, and we
I
have an
like it.
expert for each one. So
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna collab with each other going forward too, because I think we're
Yes,
both in the
of
same
course.
spot of trying to grow our audience. So I think we can definitely build off each other
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Yep.
I love it. And I love fantasy so much. So go follow them.
yes, thank you,
It's a lifestyle.
We need to feature him on a full booms or bust episode.
yeah.
dude. Please, whenever I'm always ready.
I love that segment so much.
All right, Mitch.
I
sign us
checked it
off.
out last time. It was entertaining.
Sign us off, baby. Let's go.
That's what I like to see. All right. We decided to take a little bit of a carpool today and hopped in with a couple of our buddies. So we thank you for riding with us. And once again, like always, make sure that you're wearing both seatbelts. We like to do the race car ones. And we'd like to thank you for taking this exit with us. And like always, we'll see you next time.